Back with us on the SportsMax Zone, we turn our attention to football now as we discuss the importance of coaching in the development of the sport across the region and indeed around the world. Today we have with us a man of vast experience in international coaching, Xavi Tamarit. Xavi is a UEFA Pro License coach from, we say Valencia, he says Valencia in Spain, and has worked in some of the world's top football leagues. He's worked with Southampton in the English Premier League. He's worked with Valencia, Deportiva Alavés, and Leganes in La Liga. Xavi has participated in international competitions such as the UEFA Champions League, the UEFA Cup, the Copa Libertadores. He's been in Jamaica working alongside Ballaz Academy, and we are pleased to have him here in studio. Xavi, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Good.
It's a pleasure to me to be here. So thank for the invitation.
Excellent. How many languages do you speak?
Well, I speak my regional language, that is Valenciano, Spanish, Portuguese, a little bit of Greek, and this bad English.
Bad English? Your English is good. Your English is good. All right. What specifically are you doing in Jamaica in terms of your work?
I am invited here for Andre Virtue, who is the director of Ballaz Academy. So I am here helping him to develop, to give my vision, my opinion, trying to develop a project to develop the football players here in Jamaica.
I want to jump forward in the conversation to ask you about footballing philosophy. We hear about footballing philosophy a lot, especially in England when they talk about the philosophy of coaches from the continent, coaches from Spain, coaches from Italy, coaches from France. And what I know is that the footballing philosophy in Catalonia is perhaps different from the footballing philosophy in Tenerife, or the football philosophy in Valencia, or the football philosophy in the Basque country, and we're talking different regions of Spain. But there is still something that ties them all together. What is it that a country needs to do to get a football philosophy going, because Jamaica does not have a football philosophy?
Well, of course, like you say, in the same country you can find different styles and different philosophies. For example, what the fanatics of Barcelona want of his team is different of what Real Madrid people want about his team, no? It's like in Barcelona they touch many times the ball, for example. If you do that in Madrid and you pass the ball 3 times to the goalkeeper, they start to
whistle.
Push,
yes.
So we need to understand that exist that kind of differences, but the federation needs to be responsible to create a philosophy. Sometimes it's the federation, sometimes it's some clubs that they are building, and after the federation take advantage about that. But it's so important, no? For example, Italian football is changing in the years. They were champions many times with some kind of football, and they are changing because the football is changing every time, no? So of course, it's not just a construction of some institution, or it's many things who are building coaches with good formation, players with good training, good process of formation, also the institutions giving all the possibilities as possible to build, and it's really important, in my opinion, to have a clear and very organized philosophy. Is the maybe the first step to start the way.
A blueprint. So is it that in Spain, the different regions I highlighted a while ago, that even though the styles are different, that the principles are the same given the national way, the national blueprint that Spanish football is to be played? Is that real in Spain, that there is this national blueprint, but the style is adapted in different parts of Spain? Is that...
Yeah, it's something similar. We need to understand that football is a reflect of the society.
True.
So, of course, Spanish football is a reflect of the Spanish society. And in Catalonia, in Madrid, is a reflect because we have a very long history where our different regions have a lot of differences, but at the same time have a lot of things that unite us.
Yes.
So of course, when some model is starting to have an international impact, an international success, it's easier than another regions.
Yes.
Take him
yes.
to build, no? Because we are close, we are the same culture,
yes.
some things similar depending
yes.
on the zones. So you can see that, for example, the players in the south, they are more technical,
yes.
they have more creativity,
yes.
and in the north they are more, how to say, more strong.
Physical.
Yeah.
Speedier.
So the important is that we create a good relation between all that kind of characteristic and capacities.
Xavi, you've been in Jamaica twice before now, so this is your third trip. We know that in well-developed football countries, the platform to develop players would start from very early, 6, 7, 8-year-old players. Before they become teenagers, they are already drilled into some of the concepts of the game. What are you seeing when you come to like Jamaica with regard to the kind of talent that you're seeing? And have you ever been to any other Caribbean country? Is Jamaica the only one you've been to?
Well, in Caribbean, for football, I have been just in Jamaica.
Yes.
I have been also in Bermuda Island, but I think it's not Caribbean exactly. Yeah. It's close, but no. Yeah. And I have been in most of the countries of South America. That is also a little bit different, but you have also some things similar. And the first thing I want to say is, when I came here in Jamaica, and I didn't expect what I saw. A lot of passion about football and a lot of potential. So that created me a connection with the island. Not just this, it's more things, the people, the rhythm, many things, but create on me something special. So in my head, I was always like, I would like to go back someday in Jamaica. Also, of course, when you are working in professional football, it's difficult to have time because you play international competitions and you don't have many time. And when you have 3 days, you are far of your house, so you want to be with your family.
Yes.
But it was in my head to go back here for sure. One important thing for me to develop is facilities and structure. This is a very important thing that I think here it's possible to improve a little bit.
It's lacking.
Yeah.
It's not as good as it should be.
Yeah, it should be.
Can I ask you something quickly though, Xavi? Because you were here for the first time about 10 years ago, you said?
Yes, 11
years
10,
ago.
Yeah.
A lot of people in the Caribbean feel that our football is stagnant. It's not going anywhere. It's just here and it's not moving. Have you seen anything encouraging by way of development since your first trip here 11 years ago compared to now?
In my first 2 trips here, I came here with Valencia Football Club and Next Generation to do camps. So we didn't understand very well the reality out of these camps. So I cannot answer that question.
Yes.
But for sure, it developed. I don't know if with the steps that it needs. I don't know.
Yeah, we know that there are pockets of trying to develop young footballers. You know, Andre Virtue and his group, one of a few groups, targeting 7, 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds, and getting them to understand the requirements of, you know, becoming outstanding professional or international footballers. And the local federation, the Jamaica Football Federation, is often criticized for not leading the way in taking the football product further from where it is. In the developed countries of football, how much does the Football Federation in these countries, let's say Spain, input into the development of the game? Or is the structure just strong enough from a club level that they don't have to worry too much about that?
No, Federation have a huge involvement in the football developed players, and I can speak about many different countries like Italy, like Portugal, like Germany, like Belgium. They are doing a lot of changes every time, trying to adapt football to the kids and not kids to football. For that reason, they are playing today 3 against 3, 5 against 5, 7-7.
Can you explain what you just said about football to the kids and not the kids to football? That's what you just said.
Yeah.
Exactly what do you mean?
One big problem is that we sometimes think or believe that kids are an adult in a small, and they are not. His brain is working totally different of our, and they have different necessities.
Yes.
And what is happening? We are copying the things that are happening in professional football to the kids, and in my opinion, this is not right. If we go to the past, for example, I will give my example. When I was a kid, I played football every time in every place. In the street, on the beach, on the square of the village, with my brother in my house. My mother wanted to kill us, but yes, we play every time in every place. Today, we know that it's not possible. So we need to understand that before we have football like a play outside of the academies. And in the academies, we did another kind of things. More structured, more boring, more analytic, abstract exercises. But this football that we were playing out of the academies balanced all that.
Yes.
Today, we don't have this. In the developed countries, less. And if you are in a city, big city, less than if you are in a countryside. So academies needs to understand that and adapt his idea to this, because today kids are not playing. Kids are training, are doing exercises. And it's not new that today is the moment in our history where more kids leave the sports in early years. And that's because we put a lot of pressure on them. We don't give the possibility of them to be free to play. We are all the time trying to be involved, the adults, the coaches, the parents, and this is a real necessity in all the world. If we don't understand that, we are losing an incredible generation. They are not like in football, just watch, because to play what they are doing in the academies is not football, are exercises and are what the coach tell me that I have to do. And the parents are pressing too much them to win when they are 6, 7, 8 years old. Yeah. So they are not liking more football.
George, I'm hearing Xavi say that they're taking the fun out of the game for the little children.
Yeah, yeah.
And they must allow the children to be children.
And he's correct. Overcoaching.
Yes.
And people, adults, not allowing children to make mistakes and to learn from the mistakes, but you're telling them, do this, do that. It's almost as if you're in an army and you have to do things exactly. So we're almost out of time, Xavi. What do you think, if Jamaica gets the facilities, what do you think that impact can have on the quality of the footballers that we produce? If the facilities that you speak of that are lacking, if we get those facilities, how can that help the country's football?
I think 3 very important things: facilities and the structure. Mm-hmm. The competition needs to be a good competition, local and international, but good competition, and to create a good model of formation, who is subdivided or divided in 4 sub-models: the model of play, or the idea of play, the idea of training, the idea of coaching, and the idea of players that we want. With that, I think you have huge opportunities of develop. You are showing to the world that you have the capacity. So I'm sure in next 2 World Cups, I hope to see Jamaica in the World Cup.
Yeah.
Xavi, we've got to leave it here. It was certainly a pleasure having you on the show, and I hope that this is not your 3rd and final visit to the Caribbean, and we'd like to see you experience some more countries in the Caribbean as well.
Thank you very
although
much.
I know Jamaica is a good place, and you like being here.
I would love.
Yeah, thanks. That's Xavi Tamarit there from Valencia, talking to us about a program that he's on in Jamaica at the moment to help with the development of coaching platforms for our players in the region. Coming up next on today's show, the latest from the Caribbean Premier League. We have the best bits from the 3 matches played so far over the last 20 hours. And remember, schoolboy football returns to your SportsMax channels on Saturday, the 10th of September, with a doubleheader: the Costa Cup champions Garvin Maceo against Kemps Hill, and Manning Cup champions Kingston College against arch rivals Calabar High. Saturday, the 10th of September, on your home of champions,